There's one truth about women that almost no one talks about. A truth so deeply buried beneath confidence, beneath attitude, beneath the "I'm fine" facade, that even she rarely admits it to herself. It's this: nothing hurts a woman more than realizing you became the man she always wanted. But not for her. Not heartbreak. Not loneliness. Not watching you move on. None of those come close to the pain of seeing you evolve into a stronger, more disciplined, more focused version of the man she once knew. A version she no longer has access to. That is the psychological wound no woman escapes from. And if you've ever wondered why an ex suddenly reaches out after months of silence, why she checks your Instagram stories, why she watches your every move even after she was the one who walked away, this is the reason. She is not checking on you. She is checking on who you are becoming. Because nothing terrifies a woman more than the idea that he's growing and I'm not part of that journey. The first crack in her identity. When a breakup happens, the male and female minds respond completely differently. Men fall first. Women fall later. You hurt immediately. She hurts eventually. This is why in the beginning, she may look perfectly fine. She's posting selfies, travel pictures, motivational quotes. Her friends are hyping her up. She looks like she won. But underneath that performance is a fragile belief. If I ever want him back, he'll be there. He won't grow without me. He won't change. I still have emotional access to him. Most women genuinely believe this. Until one day, they realize they were wrong. That's the moment that breaks something inside her. Because women depend on emotional access, the unspoken idea that they can come back whenever they want, that you'll still be available, still familiar, still the same. When that illusion dies, her ego cracks first. This is the beginning of the pain. She doesn't fear losing you, she fears losing her place in your life. Modern dating has conditioned men to believe women are afraid of losing love. But the deeper truth is that women fear losing her influence over you, her emotional priority, her access to your heart, her position in your life, the identity she built with you. Women attach emotionally through status in a man's world. They equate love with positional importance. So when she leaves, she expects you to remain the same man, for you to not grow too much, to you to remain emotionally available, for you to still check on her, you to still want her. She never expects to return and find a man who is calm, mysterious, disciplined, focused, confident, level-headed, purpose-driven, and completely unbothered. That's the pain she cannot process. Because when a man becomes the upgraded version of himself after she leaves, she loses something far more important than love. She loses her emotional authority. This is the moment she truly breaks. Imagine this from her perspective. She goes to check your profile. She expects the usual. A little sadness, a little chaos, a little confusion. Instead, you're leveling up. Your body looks different. Your energy is stronger. Your silence feels powerful. Your confidence is no longer fragile, it's rooted. Your social circle evolved. Your discipline is visible. Your lifestyle looks sharper. She can literally feel the shift. And the first thing her brain whispers is, he doesn't belong to me anymore. Women don't process this slowly. It hits instantly, like a punch. This is the moment she realizes she is no longer the most important character in your world. Your story is unfolding without her. That is the wound that burns. Why this pain is deeper than heartbreak. Heartbreak fades. Time heals it. Distraction numbs it. But ego death? That stays. Because when she sees the new version of you, she isn't just comparing you to other men. She's comparing you now, vs. you then, the version she left, the version she doubted, the version she didn't believe in. She now sees the man she always wanted, the man she hoped you would become. But you became him when she wasn't there. And deep inside, she tells herself, he became this because of losing me, not because of being with me. That realization shatters her ego and recreates her regret. This is the psychological breakdown most women never talk about. The pain is not about losing the relationship, it's about losing her story. Every woman has a secret narrative she builds around a man she once loved. I was the one who saw his potential. I was the one he loved the most. I was the one who shaped him. I was the best he ever had. When she sees the new you, the version who no longer fits into that narrative, her entire identity collapses. Because the truth is, women don't just lose men. Women lose stories. And stories define them. When you grow past the version she knew, she loses the story of us. And suddenly, you become the one that got away. Not because you're perfect. Not because she still loves you. But because she lost the role she thought she owned. This is her deepest pain. Here's the truth nobody tells men. A woman doesn't panic when she loses you. She panics when she loses her position in your life. That's when the real psychological storm begins. Because at first, she feels confident. She thinks she made the right call. She believes she can replace you, upgrade, or at least do better. That belief is her shield. But that shield cracks the moment she sees the one thing she never expected. You didn't break. You blossomed. Your silence has weight. Your absence has power. Your growth is undeniable. And suddenly, she realizes she is no longer the sun in your universe. She is just another planet, one that no longer orbits close enough to feel your warmth. The first sign you've slipped out of her control. Men think women move on quickly. Wrong. They simply distract themselves quickly. But eventually, something small happens, something you'd never expect, that hits her like a truck. It could be she sees you laughing in a video. She sees you out with friends she didn't like. She sees you on vacation. She sees your glow up. She sees your new confidence. She hears from someone that you're doing good. She scrolls through your profile and doesn't recognize you. That's when a terrifying thought enters her mind. He didn't fall apart without me. He became better. This is the exact moment her respect for you returns. But here's the twist. Respect always returns after desire does. And when both return, regret joins them. This regret is a specific type, a unique female regret. The regret of missing out on the upgraded version of a man she once had first access to. That pain? Nothing compares to it. Why women can't handle a man's transformation after a breakup. A man's growth hits a woman in a way that nothing else does because 1. She expected you to be predictable. She expected sadness. She expected longing. She expected you to chase. But instead, you got colder, quiete, sharper, more disciplined. You became a mystery again. Nothing attracts a woman more than a man whose attention she no longer owns. 2. She measures her value through the impact she had on your life. This is a subconscious truth. Women judge the quality of their past relationships by the impact they had on the man. If you fall apart without her, she won. If you level up, her entire narrative collapses. Because in her mind, she becomes the woman who underestimated you, misjudged you, lost you, and inspired your glow up. Unintentionally. That's a wound to her ego she'll never forget. 3. A man's silence is psychologically devastating to a woman. Men underestimate this. Your silence isn't just silence. To her, your silence is rejection, power, emotional distance, a signal of self-respect, a sign that she's not as important as she thought, proof she no longer controls the emotional frame. A silent man is a woman's worst nightmare, because silence forces her to confront the truth. She has no idea what you're thinking anymore, and uncertainty is the birthplace of obsession, the emotional spiral she begins to enter. Once she sees your improvement, her mind goes into overdrive. Phase uno, curiosity. What's he up to? She checks your profile more than she admits. Phase 2, comparison. Why does he look better? She compares you to her new options. You start looking more valuable. Phase 3, anxiety. Did I make a mistake? That seed of doubt becomes a daily whisper. Phase 4, jealousy. Who is he talking to? Is he seeing someone new? Why does he look happy? Jealousy is feminine panic wearing makeup. Phase 5, projection. She starts telling herself stories to protect her ego. He's just pretending to be happy. He probably still misses me. He'll come back eventually. This is her ego fighting for survival. Phase 6, regret. The pain hits hard. Women feel regret emotionally first, then logically. She starts thinking, I pushed away a man who would have given me everything. I left the man I now want. He's becoming the man I always prayed he would be. And finally, Phase 7, accountability avoidance. She can't take responsibility for losing you, so instead, she frames you as the one who changed. He's so different now. That's not the man I knew. No, You are the man she knew, just without the parts she took for granted. Why this pain stays with her for years? Men move on logically. Women move on emotionally. And emotional memories don't go away. Years later, even if she's dating someone else, she will always remember the man you were, the man you became, the moment she realized she lost both versions. And here's the deepest truth. Women never forget the men they regret losing. Not even after marriage. Not even after kids. Not even after years. A woman would rather you cheat than forget her. Forgetfulness is the ultimate emotional death. And when you outgrow the version she remembers, you become unforgettable, in both the best and worst way for her. There's a moment in every breakup where the man finally snaps out of the emotional fog and steps into clarity. Not anger, not revenge, not even heartbreak, just pure, calm, unshakable clarity. And nothing affects a woman more powerfully than a man who becomes emotionally unavailable after she thought he always would be. This is when the real psychological damage happens, not to the man, but to her. Because men process breakups forward, but women process breakups backward. You move on by building a new future. She moves on by re-evaluating the past. And when that evaluation doesn't match the story she told herself, the pain is deep, silent, and humiliating. Let's break down the exact emotional collapse she goes through when you detach, and why it destroys her more than anything else. 1. She loses her emotional leverage over you, whether she admits it or not. A woman knows she has emotional power over you during a relationship. She knows. Her mood affects you. Her approval matters to you. Her validation lifts you. Her disappointment crushes you. Her silence bothers you. Her affection motivates you. This is the unspoken currency of relationships. But when you detach, her currency loses all value. The emotional grip she once had on you disappears, and that loss hits harder than anything you could ever say. This is when she realizes a terrifying truth. He doesn't need me anymore. That line alone can break a woman psychologically, because deep down, every woman wants to feel irreplaceable. Not perfect, not flawless, but irreplaceable. And when your energy shows that she isn't, that's emotional devastation. 2. She realizes she misread you completely. While you were together, she thought she knew you. She thought she had you figured out. Women live in a constant state of emotional calculation. They analyze behavior, tone, reactions, patterns. They pride themselves on understanding a man better than he understands himself. But silence? Silence is something she cannot analyze. Improvement? Growth? Detachment? She cannot calculate any of it, and the unknown scares her. Because suddenly, you're not predictable anymore. You're not the man who reacted to every little thing. You're not the man who jumped when she pulled away. You're not the man who crumbled when she withdrew affection. You're not the man who needed her. And this leads to the next, far deeper wound. Maybe I never understood him at all. That realization shakes a woman to her core. Women hate being wrong about men, especially men they once had full access to. Because being wrong means she misjudged you, she undervalued you, she underestimated you. She assumed you'd never change. She expected you to stay the same man forever, but you changed without her, and that is unacceptable to her ego. 3. Your glow-up confirms her worst fear. Let's talk about the post-breakup glow-up. Women expect men to suffer, cry, plead, post depressing quotes, DM them, check their story, fall apart for months. But when you glow up, when you upgrade your life, that glow-up is the punishment. Because she now sees you look better, you're dressing better, you're leveling up mentally, you're becoming more disciplined, you're focused on your goals, you're surrounded by better people, you're not chasing her, you're becoming the man other women now want. And right there, boom, it hits her. She's no longer the gatekeeper to your potential. Do you understand how painful that is for a woman? You becoming a stronger man is not just about you. It's about what it says about her. I was the one holding him back. I gave up on him right before he became the man I always wanted. He's becoming the version of himself I would have killed for. This is the core female heartbreak. Not losing the man, but losing the man he became because she lost him. 4. She finally sees the gap between the man you were and the man you are. Women don't regret losing the man they left. They regret losing the man he became because she left. This is the difference. She left the man who loved her too much, But now she misses the man who loves himself more than her. She left the man who would do anything for her. Now she wants the man who would do anything for his purpose. She left the man who feared losing her. Now she wants the man who fears losing himself. This is why nothing hurts more than this. The moment she realizes she will never get access to the upgraded version of you that she inspired. You were her project, her influence, her emotional investment, but she doesn't get the reward. Someone else will. That is emotional devastation at the deepest feminine level. 5. Your indifference hurts more than your anger ever could. Anger still shows she matters. Pain still shows she matters. Arguments still show she matters. Jealousy still shows she matters. Confusion still shows she matters. But indifference? Indifference shows she lost. A man who is indifferent cannot be manipulated. He cannot be guilt-tripped. He cannot be pulled back. He cannot be seduced. He cannot be controlled. And that's when she realizes she didn't lose the relationship. She lost the version of herself she could only access through you. Your presence brought out a version of her she liked. Your love brought out a softness she doesn't feel with other men. Your stability brought out a calmness she misses. Your leadership brought out a femininity she can't recreate. You were not just a man she dated. You were a mirror that reflected her best self. And now that mirror is gone. She doesn't just miss you. She misses who she was with you. And that pain, that emptiness, that regret, nothing, and I mean nothing, hurts a woman more. By now, you understand the emotional earthquake she goes through when you evolve without her. But there's one final layer, the deepest, most painful part of all. Because at some point, every woman who loses a good man comes face to face with a truth she cannot escape. She didn't lose you. She lost the future she could have had with you. And that is a level of pain most men underestimate. Let's break it down. 1. She realizes she can't replace the version of love you gave her. Every woman experiences relationships differently. There's the exciting guy, the toxic guy, the fun guy, the emotionally unavailable guy, the stable but boring guy, the rebound guy, the safe guy, the guy she uses for validation. But every once in a while, she meets the man who loved her in a way no one else ever will. You were that man. A woman knows when a man gave her loyalty without conditions, attention without games, patience when she was difficult, affection she didn't have to earn, emotional security she didn't value enough, a belief in her she didn't have for herself, a future she wasn't ready for. And when you disappear from her life, something shocking happens. Every man she meets afterward feels incomplete. He might be more handsome. He might make more money. He might have better status. He might be more exciting. But the emotional energy? Not the same. Because a woman doesn't compare men logically. She compares how she felt with each man. And the emotional connection she felt with you is something she will spend years trying and failing to recreate. This is why the thought of you becoming better is so painful. It confirms her worst fear. She walked away from the one man who genuinely loved her. 2. Her future relationships reveal what she took for granted. When a woman loses a good man, her next relationship becomes a brutal reality check. Suddenly, she realizes, not every man communicates like you. Not every man cares like you. Not every man listens like you. Not every man forgives like you. Not every man chooses her every day like you. Not every man is patient with her flaws. Not every man sees her potential. Not every man protects her heart. She learns the hard way. Good men are rare. Good men with self-respect are priceless. And once she experiences emotionally cold men, shallow men, selfish men, controlling men, inconsistent men, she starts to understand what she lost. She doesn't admit this out loud, but she knows. Deep down, she knows. This is not the kind of regret that fades. This is the kind that lives in the background of her life forever. 3. She realizes you outgrew the version of her she loved being. Here's a truth most men never realize. A woman doesn't miss you first. She misses the version of herself she became with you. Women are emotional shapeshifters. Different men activate different parts of her. With you, she was softer, more feminine, more secure, more loving, more expressive, more trusting, more herself. Losing you means losing that version of herself. And that loss is deeply painful because she knows she can't access that version without you. A woman can't fake authenticity. She can't recreate chemistry. She can't force connection. And when she meets new men and realizes she doesn't feel that same softness, safety, or emotional spark, that's when regret turns into grief. Yes, grief. Not for the relationship, but for the version of herself she can't get back. 4. She now has to watch you become the man she always wanted. This is the knife that twists the deepest. You are no longer the man she left. You are the man she hoped you would become. And now she has to watch from the sidelines as you become more disciplined. You gain confidence. Your life levels up. Other women notice you. You become more attractive. You find purpose. You create boundaries. You stop tolerating disrespect. You develop emotional control. You live without her influence. And the worst part? Someone else will benefit from the version of you she inspired. You were her project, her potential, her emotional investment, but she doesn't get the reward. Another woman will. Another woman will get the healed version, the confident version, the disciplined version, the emotionally stable version, the masculine, grounded version, the man awakened by heartbreak. And that realization destroys her ego, because your growth didn't validate her, it invalidated her. It proved she gave up on the wrong man at the wrong time. 5. The one pain she can never escape. Here it is, the truth men never hear. A woman can get over losing love, but she cannot get over losing respect. And when she sees you becoming everything she didn't believe you could be, she loses respect for herself. She starts asking herself questions that haunt her. Why did I leave? What was I thinking? How did I not see his potential? Did I give up too fast? Was I the problem? Will I ever find a connection like that again? What if he becomes truly happy without me? Did I accidentally lose the love of my life? These questions stay with her for years. They appear in quiet moments, before she sleeps, after a bad date, during arguments with a new boyfriend, when she sees your glow up, when someone mentions your name, when she compares new men to you, when she sees a version of you she never got to experience. This is the pain she never recovers from. Not losing you, but losing her place in your life, her influence on your growth, her access to your heart, her role in your story. That loss is permanent. Your final takeaway. If you're a man listening right now, understand something. You were never not enough. You were becoming, and she didn't stay long enough to witness your transformation. That is her burden, her regret, her silent heartbreak. You leveled up, and the version of you that she doubted is the version other women will desire. That's the justice. That's the redemption. That's the power. And that's why nothing hurts a woman more than this.